The film commences with a portrayal of the chaos and unrest that pervade America. Demonstrations are rampant, with some individuals desecrating the national flag. Military personnel and aircrafts are on standby for combat, and the president is delivering a speech. Barry Seal, a Baton Rouge-based pilot who works for TWA, returns home, collapsing on the bed, completely drained from his flight. In a bar later that evening, a stranger calls out his name. Seal acknowledges his identity. The stranger informs him that he's been hired for a bi-weekly delivery and collection service with Cuban refugees, compensating commercial pilots like him to smuggle cigars. The stranger is familiar with Seal's background, recounting his records from TWA in school. He introduces himself as Monty Schaffer. Schaffer guides him to a hangar where he unveils an aircraft. He outlines an operation and its requirements. He proposes that Seal conduct covert surveillance missions for the CIA over Central America using a nimble, swift, twin-engine Piper Smith Aerostar 600 owned by independent aviation consultants, equipped with advanced aerial surveillance cameras. The operation is risky, prompting Seal to question its legality. Schaffer assures him that it's legal as long as he's working for the right side. Seal takes the aircraft for a trial run, leaving Schaffer in awe. Later that day, Seal discloses the venture to his wife Lucy. Lucy reminds Seal of his occupation as a TWA pilot and inquires about the meaning of IAC. Seal responds, Independent Aviation Consultants. He also reassures Lucy that he remains employed with TWA. Seal commences his work, flying over certain regions and capturing images. The ground troops in these regions retaliate. After taking the photographs, he forwards them to the CIA. A CIA agent praises the photographs and inquires about the person responsible. Schaffer takes credit. During the mission, the aircraft's window is severely damaged, disrupting the plane's balance. Nevertheless, he manages to return safely. He rendezvous with Schaffer at a diner, who compliments the quality and ingenuity of the photographs. Seal inquires about a pay raise. Schaffer commends his performance. Seal confesses that he hasn't informed Lucy about his departure from TWA and will require funds eventually. The CIA is impressed with his work, leading them to assign him to Panama. He becomes involved in illicit smuggling. His only task is to deliver and collect. Seal encounters a man in Colombia affiliated with the Medellin cartel who recognizes him. Seal is taken aback. The man mentions his weekly flights to South America for photography. Seal admits he owns an aviation company and uses the photographs. The man questions if it's the CIA. Seal denies it, glancing at a henchman with a concealed weapon. The man proposes that Seal assists them with his sophisticated aircraft and gives him a tour. After the tour, he briefs Seal, informing him that they want him to smuggle their narcotics into Miami, offering $2,000 per kilogram. Seal contemplates the lucrative offer. He requests their names, and they reveal that one of them is Pablo Escobar, a notorious drug lord seeking to infiltrate the American market. Seal expresses concern about the short runway and inquires about an alternative. Seal informs them of a change in the agreement. Instead of landing in Miami, he will simply airdrop the drugs. Seal demonstrates the hatch from where he will eject the drugs. They consent and commence loading the drugs onto the aircraft. Seal reaches the drop-off point, engages the autopilot, and jettisons the drugs. While planning the next trip at their residence, the military storms the house. Pablo instructs Seal to stay put and not to worry as they depart. Seal is bewildered. He is unsure whether to flee or stay. Hearing the commotion and gunfire, he attempts to escape, but is apprehended by the soldiers and incarcerated. Schaffer visits Seal in prison. Seal informs him that his cellmates are aware of his CIA affiliation. Schaffer denies he is CIA and informs him that the DEA has been notified of his smuggling operations and that they will search his house by 6 a.m. Seal implores Schaffer to get him out. They agree to a new arrangement. It turns out the subjects of his photographs are known as the Sandinistas. They have seized control of a small country named Nicaragua. This makes them a menace and a threat, particularly to the American president, who informs the American public and the world about the escalating tension in South America. He intends to neutralize the Sandinistas, and he wants the Contras, Nicaraguan freedom fighters, to accomplish it. Due to the US's involvement in the Vietnam War and increasing pressure, the president seeks assistance from the CIA. Seal consents to the arrangement. He inquires if the search on his house has been cancelled. Schaffer clarifies he isn't law enforcement and the search is still scheduled, but he can relocate his family from Louisiana to a safer location they have arranged. Seal returns home and notifies his wife of the abrupt relocation. Lucy is hesitant as their son's exam is the following day, and leaving without a valid reason suddenly seems suspicious. Seal persuades Lucy by asking if she loves him, using it as a leverage to convince her to pack. They arrive at their new residence in Mena, Arkansas. Lucy briefly surveys the house to assess its condition. He informs Lucy he has to depart and leaves with Schaffer. Schaffer presents him with a mini airport, declaring that the 2,000 acres of land and the airport are his. Seal is astonished and thrilled. He explores the hangar with Schaffer, who reveals a mini plane loaded with Russian AK-47s. The Israelis seized them and covertly traded them to the CIA. He informs Seal that he is to transport the weapons into Nicaragua. Seal protests that this wasn't part of the agreement. Schaffer retorts that it's wartime. The freedom fighters won't win the war without weapons, and he must choose between this or imprisonment in Colombia. He provides him with a custom map to aid his navigation. Seal returns home with treats for Lucy and the children. Lucy confronts him as she is frustrated with him. Seal admits that he isn't employed by the TWA and that his mission is classified. Lucy complains that she needs appliances in the house, like a refrigerator and a washing machine, and besides, she is 6 months pregnant. Seal informs Lucy that he is working with the CIA, but cautions her that it's classified and she mustn't disclose it to anyone. Seal delivers the weapons to the Contras. He has proposed a business deal involving smuggling cocaine. It turns out the Contras didn't desire the weapons, they only wanted money. The gang, the Medellin cartel, wants the weapons, so they strike a deal. He loads the weapons in Mena thanks to the map that bypasses any customs checkpoints. He flies directly to the cartel warehouse where he unloads the weapons. Then he loads the cocaine and flies it to the Contras camp, and the Contras transport the boat to Miami. The operation expands to such an extent that he must enlist the aid of his friends, who are experts in aviation. He dubs them the Smoker, capable of navigating any flight conditions. Schaffer pays a visit to Seal at his airfield to assess the situation. Seal assures him that everything is progressing smoothly. Schaffer mentions that he has significant tasks to accomplish. As they converse, Seal notices transport trucks loaded with military gear passing by. Schaffer reveals they need to utilize some of his land. Seal doesn't object, as he is thoroughly enjoying his life. Subsequently, Schaffer informs Seal of his plan to transport the Contras to the airport for training. Schaffer elaborates that they are establishing training operation bases. Sensing Seal's hesitation, he inquires if there's an issue. Seal completes the task, flying them to Mena for training. After a meeting with a CIA superior, Schaffer discloses to Seal that they are broadening the operation. Seal surprises Lucy with a new car filled with 3 bags of money in the trunk. Lucy is thrilled. Seal starts to live a lavish lifestyle. The business is thriving, and their living standards improve dramatically. Seal establishes a business and recruits the best personnel for it. Things start to improve. He becomes renowned and incredibly wealthy. Lucy also adapts to the lifestyle, accompanying Seal on his travels, meeting new people, and spending extravagantly. He even stashes some money in his backyard and has a considerable amount of gold securely stored. When Seal's brother, JB, visits, he is delighted to see Lucy and lifts her up. Lucy insists that JB must find employment, even when Seal offers him a bag of cash to start something. The gang continues to pay Seal in bags of cash for his drug delivery services. Seal conceals the money by burying it in his backyard. He is running out of storage spaces for the money. The closet is full, and he even resorts to storing some in the barn. JB uses the money he pilfered from the hangar to purchase a car and impress a woman. He admits to it when Seal confronts him. During one of their operations, a DEA jet orders them to land. They cleverly evade them. The CIA becomes aware of Seal's activities when he crashes one of the planes. For some inexplicable reason, they choose to ignore it. The DEA tracks the gang in Colombia, forcing Pablo Escobar to flee Colombia for Nicaragua. An officer dining in a nearby restaurant observes JB slipping some money into his pocket and retrieving a briefcase filled with money from his car. The officer apprehends JB as he attempts to flee. Lucy informs Seal that JB has been arrested with a large sum of money. Seal reassures Lucy, telling her he is in a meeting and will handle it when he returns. Meanwhile, Seal is negotiating with the cartel to deliver a massive quantity of drugs. This is the largest amount Seal has ever had to smuggle. He converses with JB, who is scared and anxious. JB informs Seal that some people want to talk to him, likely investigators. Seal instructs him not to engage with anyone. He ends the call and continues his discussion with Escobar's associate, Ochoa, informing him they will have to pause for a while due to a family issue. Ochoa mentions that he is aware of JB's situation and offers to handle it. Seal declines the offer. Seal gives JB some money and a passport to travel from Mina to Dallas. He provides him with advice on how to stay safe. JB gets into his car to leave, taunting and insulting Seal. He doesn't get far before the car explodes. It appears the cartel had planted a bomb in his car. The CIA discovers that Seal was supplying guns to the Colombian cartel, and they erase all evidence related to Barry Seal. Meanwhile, at the hangar, Seal and his team are evacuating. The state police, FBI, DEA, ATF, and Arkansas State Police simultaneously arrest Seal. While in their custody, he attempts to bribe them, but they refuse. He assures them that he will find a way out, and to their surprise, he does. Seal departs with some men to meet with high-ranking officials at the White House. The DEA is determined to bring down the cartel, while a colonel is intent on proving that the Sandinistas are involved in drug trafficking. They discuss with Seal about reinstating him in the business, this time with 3 standard cameras to document the cartel's activities in relation to the Sandinistas. Seal executes the job efficiently, but lands in hot water when the government uses the photos as propaganda against the Sandinistas, showing top Nicaraguan officials involved in drug trafficking, including Federico Von. His face is also visible. The cartel sees the news and is furious at Seal for betraying them. They plot to kill him. Seal is found guilty but is only sentenced to 1,000 hours of community service. Seal, who is recording his experiences while staying in hotels, is constantly fearful of car bombs, suspecting the cartel might plant one like they did with JB. Seal is unable to evade the cartel while serving his community service at the same Salvation Army facility every evening, and one day, an assassin murders him. The CIA destroys any evidence that could link them to Seal. After Seal's death, the CIA resumes smuggling, and as Schaffer suggests, they use Iran to supply weapons to the Contras. The movie concludes with Schaffer being commended for his plan, but the public soon learns about it when reporters question Vice President Bush and President Reagan about the incident. Lucy and her children move back to Baton Rouge, where she finds employment in fast food. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.